Hello, you are watching Real English with Real Teachers. In this sponsored video by Skillshare, I'm going to be sharing my phrases and vocabulary that I have actually used or heard this week in social situations or whilst teaching my students in my conversational classes. Because we all know that language learning is pretty much identical to eating fish, isn't it? You want it fresh. You want it as fresh as possible, fresh from the market, fresh from the sea. So let me welcome you to a new series of videos where I will be sharing my freshly caught phrases of the day. And if I can further this terrible comparison, when you fish, you're outdoors, you're in the nature, you're taking in the fresh air, the water, and hopefully even some sunny skies. So let's do that, shall we? I'll take you out there, you'll see a bit of the environment I'm in, and you'll learn some lovely language. Let's go!
You're watching
Real English
with
Real Teachers.
Real Teachers.
There we go, much better, much better. So the first phrase is to keep on top of your finances. To keep on top of your finances, meaning to be good at managing your financial situation. My girlfriend would probably prefer if I was better at this. If I was able to keep on top of my finances, she would feel more secure about life. And maybe her parents would be more willing to let me marry her. But I haven't asked yet. I haven't asked. I wonder what they'll say. They might say, come back when you can keep on top of your finances. Okay, Charlie? But, you know, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing well. Just, you know, spend a bit more time on Excel. Microsoft Excel. It's not sponsored. Could be Google Sheets. Doesn't matter. The next one is to get to the bottom of something. If you've ever seen a murder mystery film or TV series, you've probably seen these people, the investigators, get to the bottom of the situation. To get to the bottom of this, we often say this in the context, meaning they truly discover the real answer. You want to find out more information, you could say, okay, let's get to the bottom of this. Why is this problem occurring? What is going on? How can we solve it? Let's get to the bottom of this. The next phrase is when you clearly see that someone knows a lot about something, and it's usually to do with their memory. And this phrase is to know something like the back of their hand. Apparently, we've all spent a lot of time looking at the back of our hands. I don't know if that's true, but the saying is suggesting that we know the back of our hand very, very well. The back of our hand. The palm, the back of our hand. You could use this phrase with a taxi driver because they often need to know the streets very well. And if he took you in the right direction, you could say, he knows these streets like the back of his hand. Not the back of your hand. He doesn't know your hand very well. So, to know something like the back of your hand, to know something incredibly well. Alright, one of the last phrases I taught in class was to do something for the sake of it. To do something for the sake of it. And this means to do it for the fact that you want to do it. Really simple. There's not much meaning to it. You just, I felt like doing it. Now, I taught this in the context of asking about a tattoo. One of my students had a tattoo on her hand, on the back of her hand, and she knows her tattoo like the back of her hand. I asked, is this a meaningful tattoo? Is this a meaningful tattoo? What's the reason behind it? And she said, no, I don't have a reason. So I said, you could say, I did it for the sake of it. I did it for the sake of it. Why did you do that? I just did it for the sake of it. I'm not sure. I just did it for the sake of it. Why did you jump in the water? Don't know really. Did it for the sake of it. Alright, this next one is useful for going shopping. When you're shopping, especially if you're with a lady friend, they go into the changing rooms and then they come out and show you. They show you maybe a dress that they're wearing. And instead of just looking at your phone and saying, looks good, you could say, give us a twirl. Give us a twirl then. You sometimes say then. Even though it's just me, I would say us. You could say give me a twirl, but I would say us. So it means to turn around, to go like this. La la. And it usually allows the dress to float, like in the Mockingjay when it goes on fire. She gives them a twirl. I suppose there could be a slight bit of sexism attached to it if you use it in a sleazy way, in a not very nice way, because it's suggesting that a woman is to parade for you, is to show off her beauty for you, but you can still use it comically without meaning offence. So give us a twirl, and you don't have to aim it towards just women. You could say to a guy, give us a twirl, show us what you've got, show us what you've got, give us a twirl. Not a twirl chocolate bar that is sold in the UK. It's very tasty, but yeah, that's not the angle that I was going for with this one. Before we go on with the next phrase, I'm going to tell you about the video's sponsor, which is Skillshare. And they are an online learning community with thousands of classes for you to get involved in, from entrepreneurial skills to creative ones, and even English classes. So the premium membership allows you access to all of the content on the website, including the English classes. Like a course that I think you would love, which is called the English Job Interview course. And it takes you through a step-by-step formula to feel confident when stepping into your next job interview in English. But they've got plenty more than that to offer, and these courses are of a really good quality. I use them a lot. My girlfriend is addicted, and I think you could find a topic on Skillshare that you're passionate about and combine your passion and your language learning together. Perfect. I also want to say how affordable it is. Compared to an in-person class or a workshop, the annual subscription fee is just $10 a month, which is insane when you know how many courses there are on there. So I really recommend you go ahead and have a look. And if you do that, because this video is sponsored by Skillshare and you've listened to this advert, you earned it. You did, you earned it. And they are giving you 2 months free. Completely free. It's insane. So you just sign up in the description box below and you will be given access to a ridiculous amount of content for you to use for 2 months completely free. I think it's actually too generous, but I'm not going to change that. Go and enjoy it. But let's get back to these phrases, shall we? Alright, the next one is to treat somebody to something. If you feel like you want to give somebody a gift, you could say, I'll treat you to it. My mum would treat me to something at Christmas, but it might be less grand, not as big as a present at Christmas. It could be just like a drink at the pub. Oh, I think it's my round, Trevor. I'll get this one. No, you sit down. I'll treat you. I'll treat you. They'll often say, yeah, I'll treat you. I'll treat you to the next round of beers. Even though it's your turn, I will get them because I feel like giving you something nice. Don't worry, I'll treat you. I'll treat you. What do you treat people to? Do you treat them to a nice experience in your home? If you ever host a dinner, perhaps? Do you treat them with a drink? And then you could say it in response, they treated me to it. Oh yes, he treated me to this beer. That's quite formal. So you'd say, oh yeah, he treated me. He treated me. You don't need to say the full to something. He treated me to this beer. He treated me. How lovely. How lovely of him. Trevor, he's a sweetheart, isn't he? I'm taller than you right now. Looking down on you. It's another phrase. To look down on somebody could mean that you think badly of them. You think you are better than them. I look down on you. I look down on you. I'm looking down on you. Don't look down on me. Don't look down on me. I'm looking down on you. What are you going to do? But the actual phrase that I was going to teach was to tower over somebody. To tower over somebody, to be really tall, so tall that you are like a tower, like a building, a very big skyscraper, compared to the person. So a very, very tall girl might tower over me. And in the playground when you're at school, often the tall girls might not want to tower over the guys too much. But then again, I wouldn't want to be towered over because I would feel insecure. I remember the first kiss I had, it was in a disabled toilet. Neither of us were disabled, we were just rudely occupying it. And she was towering over me. I had to stand on my tiptoes. Luckily it was in the dark, so no one knew. Now you do. But she towered over me. And a guy could also tower over another girl, or the same girl. My dad towers over my mum. He's 6'4". Can't remember the centimetres for that. Can you write that in the comments for me if you know it? 6'4", and she is 5'2". So there's a big height difference. A big height difference to tower over somebody. You know when two people get on well and they keep managing to come up with good ideas perhaps together? You often see two actors, you could say they gel well. They behave well together. Put them in a room and they get on really well. You could say to gel well. Like gel, like the product that a teenage boy would put in his hair. They gel well with each other. You can also say to bounce off each other well. Harry and I would say, we bounce off each other well. When we sit down at a cafe to think up ideas for our residential immersion courses, we often come up with great ideas together because it's a collaborative effort. So we bounce off each other well. Who do you bounce off well with? I hope you bounce off well with somebody, at least. And the last phrase that I taught to a student very recently was, if you're struggling to meet people, like I've just come to Australia, I need to make some friends because I don't know many people. I've got a couple of cousins here, but they've got their own lives. I need to make my own friends. And in order to do that, I need to meet more people. So you could say, I need to get out there. I need to get myself out there. Or you could say, I need to put myself out there. Maybe an actor needs to do that as well. To get an audition, he needs to put himself out there to be noticed, So if someone has broken up with someone, if they've come to the end of a relationship, then you might say, well, let me know when you feel ready to get yourself out there and I'll help you. I'll be your wingman. Or wingwoman. A wingman is somebody who helps somebody look for a partner. I remember I was a good wingman for Harry when we were, where were we? We were in Venice, I think. Yeah, in Venice. He was wanting to meet a girl and I helped the conversation and yeah, I managed to help him meet her, let's say. So a wingman is somebody who helps another person, another friend, to meet a romantic partner. So it could be a wing woman. That means the woman who is helping the person find somebody. Or a wingman is the man who is helping somebody find somebody. You get my point? So yeah, you could advise someone to put themselves out there or to get out there, to get themselves out there. I need to get myself out there and make some friends. That's all of the phrases I have for you today, but there are a lot more coming your way as tons of phrases come up in my conversation classes I'm having with students every day. If you wanted to have a lesson, then click the info card and check out my Skype lessons, or check the description box for all our links to help you take your English to the next level. Don't forget to check out Skillshare and utilize those 2 months of free access to an insane amount of high quality online courses. But that's all for now. I really encourage you to write your own examples of the phrases in the comments section to practice them. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already. See you soon on another video from Real English with Real Teachers.